some type of discernment given with respect to the context, the entire context of the situation.
Well, there's some wild, unfair laws in California, and one of them has to do with whether or not you are the father of a child. So I know a guy, and he unfortunately had a good friend who fucked his wife. And he did not know this was happening, and this good friend got his wife pregnant, and he raised that kid as his daughter. And he didn't know until after his friend was dead. His friend died.
Yep.
And then after his friend was dead, he was stuck paying child support until that kid was 18, no matter what. Even though he got a paternity test, he was like, something's going on.
Yeah.
Got a paternity test, found out it was his friend's kid. Devastating, right? Your friend's dead. He was your best friend. Now he's dead, and you're raising his fucking kid, and you have to pay for it. So he tried to appeal. Nope, fuck you. You have to pay.
Welcome to
But listen, but part of me is also like, listen, you don't have to be a biological father to love a child. And I have a stepdaughter. I love her like my daughter. If I was in that situation, I would want to still pay for that girl. I wouldn't want to give any fucking money to that woman, though.
Yeah.
So if you have to give that woman money and then she distributes it, like, that's where it gets weird. Like, because it's up to their discretion. When you pay child support,
it goes straight to them.
It goes to the mom.
Yeah.
The mom can buy shoes. She can go buy a purse. She doesn't have to do anything with the kid. Like, especially if she has a job already. Yeah. So the idea is you're compensating her for the fact that you have a child together, but it's up to her discretion.
If we're just going to be honest, like child support, by and large, it's a business relationship between the mother, most times between the mother and the state, because it's not like the child support office doesn't take a portion of the money that's being paid. Right. So they're incentivized to have as many people on child support as possible, regardless of the context and the situation. So the state is not your friend in that respect. So understanding that, it just blows my mind that you can have a situation like that where he doesn't even have a choice in the matter. Right. Because there'll be a good number of men who would say, you know what, I don't like it. I'm done fucking with you. Right. As far as the mother, but I still want to do what I can to help with the child. But when you put him in a position where he doesn't even have a choice in the matter.
Well, the dude that we're talking about was struggling too. My man was struggling. He was not, and he's gone too now, so I can talk about this. But he was struggling. He was not doing well. And he had a monthly nut that he was obligated to pay, and he tried to, his career was in the shitter. It wasn't going well, and he had monthly, and he could get jailed.
Like it's
everything's crazy about it. It was his friend. Everything's awful about it.
I'm laughing to avoid getting pissed.
I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
Okay.
Because it's going to blow your mind. But remind me.
Okay.
But the whole story behind it is so sad because the guy loved his friend, and then after the friend's dead, he finds out the friend fucked his wife and got her pregnant, and then he was raising that kid as his own. So much of it is awful.
Yeah. And then nothing. I think, I don't know. I think if that's I think the woman should be forced to pay alimony to the husband. Well, in that situation.
I don't know. I don't know about alimony, but I just don't.
I just think there should be some level of punishment as a result of it. If you're going to force him to pay child, now it's probably end up canceling itself out, right? Because it's kind of backwards. It's just me wanting some type of retribution for him,
right?
Because it's like she just gets away with this scot-free. Like there's nothing. Like it's so,
she didn't just get away with it. She enforced it. She went to court for it after the fact.
Like
after the fact, she went to court and won.
Come on.
I know, it's so awful. And meanwhile, this guy is living with the heartbreak of his friend's betrayal, his friend's death first, then his friend's betrayal, and then his wife's betrayal, and then the financial obligation that he has that he can't afford. It gets even worse in Canada. Dave Foley was my friend from News Radio. When he was married, his wife and him got divorced when he was at the peak of his career.
Yeah.
So he's making the most money he's ever going to make. He's on a sitcom. It's his sitcom. He's doing really well. And he had a certain amount that he had to pay. And in Canada, when his income drops substantially, because, you just can't have a fucking sitcom all the time. If you're lucky, you get one your whole life.
Yeah.
The judge said to him, your ability to pay has no relationship to your obligation to pay. So this exorbitant amount of money that he was paying, because at one point in time he was doing really well, that is how much you have to figure out how to make forever.
Or what?
Or you go to jail.
You see how
like you couldn't go to
see
Canada.
How stupid that is?
It's crazy.
It's dumb. So if the point of God, I'm blanking out here. If the point of child support is so that the child is supposed to be in the best interest of the child and making sure that the child is provided for.
Yes.
Why would you then create the very circumstance that would inevitably end up ripping the father away, not only just the father, but then also the money that could be going to the child, whether or not it's the actual amount you established beforehand or not.
Right.
Just lower the damn payments. If you have justification for determining, you know what, he can't make these payments anymore, let's lower it to a payment he can make while still allowing the father to be in the child's life and have some type of money going in. Do that shit.
Yeah.
Like just arbitrary idea that, no, we set $1 million for you to pay every month to this child. You can't pay for it. We're going to throw you in jail because it's in the best interest of the child. Don't get me started on this, Joe. Don't get me started on this, Joe.
It's like there's a lot of aspects of the law that were written in good faith. That, like, child support is one of them.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a father, fuck yeah, you should pay for your kids, 100%. But then when you get into situations like that, wait a minute, how much? $100,000 a month?
You don't need that to
whatever
raise a
it
child.
is. Like, that's crazy.
You don't need that to raise
Well, that's
a
the
child.
weird thing about alimony as well. You have to maintain the lifestyle. So, like, someone becomes accustomed to a lifestyle. Like, say if you're married to Bill Gates. If you get divorced from Bill, say if you only married to Bill for a year or two. If you get divorced, like, you're entitled to a large sum of money unless there's some sort of prenuptial agreement, which I'm sure there is. But if there's not, you're accustomed to a lifestyle. She's used to caviar and private jets.
Now you know why I live in Texas, brother. It's a man state.